It is?
We're watching Watchers watch. But who watches the Watchers? Well, apparently us.
She's right. It's piracy. I'd be careful.
Who
if I were
watches
you.
the Watchers watching the
Come on, I was
Watchers?
just showing.
Your subscribers.
Yeah, it's piracy anyway.
Thanks. Going for the future. Thanks.
Mind blown.
That's dumb.
It could have been so much better.
Sure. Everything could always be so much better.
Yeah.
But in some cases, it's like, hey, just don't do it.
Just don't do
Don't
it.
do it in the first place.
Yep.
Speaking of just don't do it in the first place, how did you feel about Rubber?
Meh.
Yeah, meh.
Well, it's worse than meh.
It's worse. Is it worse than Malort? Ooh.
I would take Rubber over Malort.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, no. I would take Malort because I don't think
It wouldn't last as long.
The taste doesn't last as long as this movie does.
Yeah. It felt long.
It did.
For an hour and 20-minute movie, it felt long.
Again, it could have been just like a 15-minute short. You get the idea. Have a little bit of the joke with, breaking the fourth wall, all that. But the parts where they're watching the tire,
Yeah.
just roll too long.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Things needed to be just tightened up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the gag of it constantly going back to the, like, I understand if you're writing that in your head and you're like, we want it to be tied to a spectator to say, like, when the spectator's done watching, then the movie is like, kind of like a Schrodinger's box, where it's like, you don't know if it's over until, like, it happened, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. The cat both exists inside the box and doesn't exist in the box, and until you open it, is when you prove whether or not it is.
Every time I drop my phone, is it broken? Is it not broken?
Yeah, Schrodinger's iPhone,
Yes.
or whatever you have. You have an iPhone, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So I get that, but I think they needed like a rewrite, or to get through part of it in editing and be like, this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like just cut to the quick. Just cut right to it.
Yeah. No sense in dragging it on in some cases.
Yeah. Like, I liked the ideas that they had. Where, like, we're going to have a progression of, like, he sees a thing, and then he kills it. And then, like, he sees, like, another thing, and then it's bigger, and it's like, oh, now he's killing real things. Okay. But it's like a water bottle, a can, a bottle, a scorpion. I'm like, I get it.
Yep. It's progressing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Progress faster.
The progression of a mass murder is, I get it, the back.
It's like,
they're trying to associate it.
It's like, oh, he crushed a thing. Oh, he killed an animal. Oh, he killed a person. Three things. That's all you need.
That's it. Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. Great.
I mean, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't just like, oh, he killed a fly.
He
Killed a mouse.
Oh, he
He killed a squirrel. Oh, he killed a muskrat. A possum. I don't know how he did it, but he somehow killed a porcupine.
Yeah.
Okay, he killed a cat.
Yeah.
Getting serious.
Oh, yeah.
A dog.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh, a bigger dog. Oh, he killed a puppy.
No, that seems like it's morally progressing. Like, emotionally, it's like, that's way worse. But it's also a lot smaller.
Yep.
Yeah.
He killed a primate. Why is he killing a chimpanzee?
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Where
They're
did
in
that come
Texas. How many monkeys are in Texas? start listing off all the Republicans in Texas.
He keeps just going. It just,
Hey, do you want to know what my political affiliation is? Now you do.
Now you know.
Now, they knew.
And you just, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre didn't happen that way.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like...
man. Ted Cruz, how'd you get here? No.
What's the... I was on a flight to Cancun, but
sorry,
it got
this
diverted. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh man, but we get it, and I think the audience would get it. One thing, so as the audience was there, it almost seemed like the person who wrote it was, maybe I'm totally off on this, he just hates critics in general. So the audience is there on purpose to kill the critics, and then there's always one that keeps lingering and giving bad reviews.
I guess so, yeah.
And then they're just finally sick of this guy, and they just
tell me you hate your audience without telling me you hate your audience. I'll go first. Rubber.
Yeah. We could be next, actually.
Shoot. Yeah, that tire could be coming for us.
I'll tell you one thing, you'll never look at a tire again the same way.
No, I will. Promise.
But those tricycles.
Pinky promise. Yeah, that would have been funnier, I think. But I don't want to knock I like the idea. I like the concept. I like parts of it. Like when I think he killed the rabbit, and then he was like kind of waving around a little bit and with happy music. I'm like, that's fun. I dig that.
Yeah.
And then the scene kept going, and I'm like, but I get it. Like, we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't have to be a long thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Letter Media talked about this in the new Zack Snyder film.
Okay.
Did you see the Army of the Dead?
Not yet.
Okay, do you plan to?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to ruin anything.
I know there's really fast zombies, and they're trying to get into a bank.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, that's in the trailer.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of shots that are basically ripped from other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shot for shot, they're the same, like very similar dialogue, very similar thing
I'm
happening.
expecting a lot of similarities to Resident Evil with Mila Jovovich.
Nope. No.
Really?
Like old classic movies.
Okay.
That are also horror, like American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
There's a scene like ripped straight from that. There are a lot of scenes ripped from like Alien.
Okay.
Because Zack Snyder was like, what's something I can like template off of? And he took a bunch of stuff, seemingly, because you just line them up next to each other and they play out very similarly.
Be interesting to see that cut.
Yeah, it's go watch the Red Letter Media review of Army of the Dead by Zack Snyder. And the thing is, the scenes last forever. It's like a 2.5-hour movie. And there are moments where like...
What's that? Can that be a 2.5-hour movie?
It is.
No, we just watched a movie that was an hour and a half, and we're asking, can it be any shorter? I'm just asking. Zack Snyder just came out with a 4.5 hour.
Well, yeah, the Snyder cut for the Justice League thing is different.
Yeah.
But Army of the Dead could have been an hour and a half.
Okay.
Could have been an hour and a half. There are moments where like something's about to happen, and it gets dragged out. Because I watched it and I saw what they were talking about. Where like someone's about to die. And you're like, okay, this would be a perfect moment for him to just die. Like, he does, he's doing a thing, he turns around, then gruesome kill, and it's really satisfying, and you're out.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's like this really long, drawn out thing that has no tension to it, and you just want to see this person die. Like, you don't care about them. It's like, no vested interest. Like, move on. And they talk about that, and I agree after watching it. My friend Alex is like a cinephile, and he can be pretty critical of certain things. He's
got a podcast, no?
Yes, the No Refunds podcast. It's a podcast. Go listen to it. They just did their 75th episode, part 1, where they talk about their top 5 favorite albums.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
75, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah. I like it a lot. But he was talking about how he like did not enjoy it at all. And I think I said like Tig Notaro being green screened in looked pretty good, like for what it was. And he's like, I disagree. I think it looked terrible. And I'm like, the first scene where she shows up, hard to tell. Some other scenes, easy to tell. Like, if you're looking for it, you'll be like, okay. But for the most part, like, she's kind of green screened off to the side. Like, they did a pretty good job matching lighting. Like, is it obvious that she's not actually there sometimes? Yes. Is it the most obvious thing in the world? No, they did an okay job. So, that was kind of nice. And her character, I'm veering off course. Her character in the movie was great.
Which movie are we critiquing again?
Because, like, she shows up, and they go, and they're, like, recruiting all the members. And this is, like, the beginning of the movie, so I don't think it's going to ruin anything.
No, I assume it was going to have some similar progression to other zombie movies. And
Yeah.
Rat Race is what it seemed like to me.
Rat Race.
It's just like, all right, go, and first person to the bank vault gets it, and then there's going to be... This is my assumption. I was like, there's going to be like a Joker mentality. Somebody gets to the vault and kills the other person.
No,
so
then I won't say anything else about the movie. I'll let you watch it for yourself. Because I'm not going to...
All right.
This is something that isn't in the trailer, but I really enjoyed it. And it's also, like, in the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the movie. So, like, you could, like, pause there, skip to, like, almost the end, and...
You've seen the whole movie without having to see the whole movie.
You haven't seen the whole movie, but, like, it's more satisfying than watching the whole movie. But don't...
All right.
You don't have to... This is my opinion.
All right,
You might really enjoy it. I don't know. You might enjoy the longer, drawn-out scenes.
I haven't really enjoyed a zombie movie since, like, the first Resident Evil. I mean, I saw that only once in theaters.
Yeah.
That was it. And it wasn't that great of a movie, but I like Mila Jovovich. Resident Evil games are great. I know it wasn't as similar, but, you know.
Yeah. Going back to the movie we just watched.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, like... I just wanted it to be a little bit different. I liked the ideas, as I said, especially like when he's in front of the cop car and he's like, all right, you can all go home. And they're all like, it's real life. I liked that. That was fun. But I also wanted it to end differently.
Yeah, I didn't know where that was going. It started
I don't think they knew where it was going either. Because it would have been fun if... Because that's like pretty early on. If he goes, all right, we can all go home. And they're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I don't get it. And then someone's like, oh, the guy's not dead yet. Even though I didn't really care about the spectators.
If you were to take that same scene and just put it in Monty Python.
Maybe. A better version of that scene, maybe.
Monty
I was thinking like, okay, so what's going to happen is like, he's going to have to keep pretending. And it's going to get bigger. So like you're gonna see him going through the motions, but everyone else around him like really working, and then it that fell apart. Where like towards the end, everyone's just kind of like, what are we doing now? I'm tired. Where's craft services? Like you could see it.
The alligator.
Whatever. It was cute. Who cares?
Yeah, a little slapstick there.
Yeah. If everyone played it a lot more serious, that was definitely for a gag for him to be like, you understand that you are not real because you have that. It could have been something else.
But it turned out the whole thing was real.
I guess. I don't know. It was really confusing. They had good ideas. You could rewrite this movie and make it good. Make it more interesting anyway. Get like, okay.
Could you do it for the same budget or would you want more?
You probably do it for the same budget. Here's my idea. You do the thing with the tire. It starts off with the tire. Get rid of the intro. I know it's like no reason.
Or make it real quick.
Yeah.
It came just out of nowhere for no reason. Came to me.
Yeah, maybe like I enjoyed the car knocking into all the chairs. I thought that was hilarious. That made sense because it was played for comedy. So, like, knocking over a chair, whatever. Knocking over 11 chairs intentionally, all spaced out like that, that's genius. And it set up the whole movie to fail.
It started out as just like, oh, well, maybe he was trying to avoid the other one.
Yeah,
And you hit
but the
that-
longer it goes on,
and
you're
then
like,
you're like,
okay, got it. Yep.
Okay.
All right, great. And then like the way they're built, they just like fall right over, like playing cards.
Mhm.
Perfect. He gets out of the trunk, and I'm like, all right, I'm interested in this. And then he does the no. He like, you could keep that and be like, do you know things happen for no reason? And then he pours the water out, and then he gets back in the trunk and drives away. And then it goes to one scene with the spectators, one scene with them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he was talking to someone.
And yeah, go on.
Right? And then they put their binoculars up. This is like a 5-minute scene.
Mhm.
And they go, ooh, or whatever. They say have a line that like, hey, what's going on with that tire over there? And then it goes to the tire. So instead of that being like 15, 20 minutes, however long that it felt like an hour, that is like a minute and a half. Much shorter.
Mhm.
This movie didn't have to be an hour 20. I was really happy. I was like, this is going to be a short movie. Felt like forever.
Mhm.
And then it goes to the tire. And then it's like, and it's up. Much shorter.
You didn't need the shower scene.
And then it rolls. Yeah. It's a bad horror movie. A lot of them just have that gratuitous, like, whatever in it. So, like, I kind of get. They want to establish, like, the tire really likes this girl. But also, yeah, it didn't have to be like that.
Maybe that cabriolet, because I think at one point those had a tire on the back.
Oh, that could have been a nice subversion of expectation.
Yep.
Where, like, you see the girl, and it's following the girl, and maybe you get a couple, like, off-center shots where, like, you can see the back of the thing, but there's a clear indication of a line of where something was before. That could have been cool.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, so... And then it has the progression
Some
where it's
version of that Volkswagen
Yeah.
had a tire in the back of one.
it's rolling through the desert.
Mhm.
It has the scene with the water bottle, that was fine. And then it goes right to the animal.
Mhm.
One animal, maybe one more on the way.
Yep. And just.
And then it gets to the hotel, because it got to the hotel and it was like, oh, this lady.
Mhm.
It had that thing where like it stopped the car with its telekinesis somehow. Its psychokinetic abilities.
It was really tough trying to get. I'm going to say this and it's going to sound really stupid. It was really tough trying to get in the mind of the tire from the camera's point of view. It didn't work for me. So like it was like, I mean, if you're looking at something, sometimes the camera's here and you get the person's point of view, like right third person point of view. When it's looking at like the other burning tires, or if it's looking in the room or whatever it is, it's just like it's not working for me.
That could have been just a cinematography fix, but also
Perhaps, absolutely.
I don't know if they knew like who they wanted the audience to identify with, because normally you have someone where you go, that's me in a movie. Like, you ever leave a movie theater when you're like 10 years old?
There's a couple people, the people who helped get to the 100,000 mark in, the United States. Those are the people who related to the tire.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You ever leave a movie theater when you're 10 years old after seeing like Spider-Man for the first time, and you're like, I'm Spider-Man, just for like an hour?
Yeah, you put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, you're like,
I want to be this guy.
Like, I have to be a hero and be nice to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, however you feel. Like, I want to shoot webs from my hands. I want super strength. I'm greedy. For an hour, you feel like I'm a superhero. Well, like when you're 10,
Mm-hmm.
And then that
would feel weird.
eventually
if it
goes
just
away.
Comes out like, how would that feel?
Well, it'd probably feel really cool when you made the device.
Didn't Tobey Maguire's?
Yeah, his was organic. Sam Raimi was like, I don't think an audience would buy him making web shooters. Which...
Oh, by the way, we're going to sell these to Toys R Us, and they're, just strap-ons. Well...
Phrasing. Yeah.
That's
the secret part of Toys R Us. In the back. Are we still doing phrasing?
I thought that was Bed Bath & Beyond. It's
Yeah,
the
that's in the
section.
Beyond section. Beyond, you open a door and it's just a Spencer's Gifts. You're like, hey, wait a minute.
There's that one back door in Spencer's. There's the office, and then there's another back door in Spencer's and you don't know where it goes.
It's inventory, man.
That's bed and bath.
Oh, that's bed and bath. Yeah. You're like, what's that door? It's like, that's the office, idiot. It's like, wait, what's that other door? That's bed. That's the bed and bath, idiot. Bed and bath? Yeah. Bed, bath, beyond.
Yep.
Oh,
The guy's
Fallout.
Fallout. Fallout.
Pip Boy.
Pip Boy.
Gotcha.
Yes. Sorry.
I was so confused. Also, there are a lot of things coming up from my stream last night. I was playing Yahtzee with Tea Time Gaming, and we talked about Fallout Boy, and we talked about something else. Phrasing. We kept saying that because
Phrasing.
Yeah, and we was like, when did we stop doing phrasing? Like that came up a lot. But yeah, we were talking about Fall Out Boy. Troy was like, "Yeah, I don't really like Fall Out Boy," and I was like, "Wow, Troy, it's so crazy how fast our friendship just ended."
I had tickets to that mega whatever tour.
He's more of a metal guy. Troy is.
Okay.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It's just funny. Oh yeah, we were. I was trying to
That was a
like
tangent, sorry.
re-summarize Rubber in a way that would make it better.
So you left off after you shortened the intro.
Shorten the intro up.
Yep.
Get to the girl faster, and you don't have to have that scene. If you want to have it, fine. But it could just be like she's at the hotel and he's there, and I get it. He's infatuated for whatever reason.
Yep.
And then he's in the the other room. The maid scene was fun. It didn't make any logical sense that, like, when she walks in, the shower can already be on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that he's alive, and that he's a he. I guess whatever they called him a he. That might have just been default because it was written by a guy, and people tend to like just identify with their own personality. So.
Yeah,
If it's an inanimate object and you just from your heart call it a he, and you're like, oh, I guess I just decided it doesn't matter.
This microphone?
I haven't assigned. They're just inanimate objects to me.
You don't do that. These do. You don't assign them. They assign themselves, don't they? Isn't that how it works?
They're inanimate.
I'm making a terrible, dry, sarcastic joke. You still don't get it. It's fine. It's all right. I got it.
Why are you the way that you are?
What's that from?
The Office. Yeah. So get to we get it. And Tyre's infatuated with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
The maid scene was fun. We get it. The shower can already be on, and she can be in there, and maybe like the shower's open a little bit, just to give it like more logical sense.
Mm-hmm.
So she can walk in and be like the door's open, like everything's just a little open, and she's like, what? And she like walks in and like sees the sliver of the tire or whatever. She's like, what the hell? And like moves it back. She's like, whatever. And then tosses it outside. Like, I don't know who was in here and what they were doing, but clearly they're being weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can like and then it can play out the same way. That'd be fine. It was just weird that like she walked in, announced herself, it was quiet, then the shower went on, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check to see if anyone's there." It's like it turned on while you were in the room, and then she like goes in and she's like, "I'm just gonna pull this back, I guess." Could be a naked anybody, but whatever.
I like how, as she's walking in, she says, "Do you want me to come back later?" As she's reaching for the curtain.
Yeah. Maybe she's like a peeping Tom, and she's just like a big pervert, and she's just like, "Do you want me to come back later?" Oh no, I saw it. like get out. And it's like, "I'm sorry." It's like, what are you doing? That wasn't the sense I got from the character. It just seemed like a dumb
But if you
choice.
wanted to improve that scene, you could, I guess, in some way,
Make her terrible?
make her terrible.
I guess so, because then maybe...
That gives the tire more motive.
Well, no, it gives us more,
I get you.
like, empathy towards the tire.
Mhm.
Like, okay, like, you're killing people, but she was terrible. Like,
The tire
or have a guy go in and do it, you know?
Hmm.
Like, oh, maybe there's a foxy girl in there. Ha! Oh, it's a tire? And then, you know, dead.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, why are you covered? Don't move. Covered in, I don't know what.
cat hair.
You're disgusting, Mike. No, it was like another fuzz. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it was in the car on my way.
Or just in the air. My house is a mess. With cat fur and hair and like stuffed animal
Same
fuzz
here.
that's just leaking out of all the animals because Barney decides to destroy them. So, yeah, make that scene better. Make that scene make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? The kid. Oh yeah, you have that scene in the middle of that where the kid's like, "There's a live tire," and then the guy who was like, "You suck." That was okay, because you need to drive the plot somewhere. Like you can't just have this tire stealthily going around killing things. Although that might work too if it was just a different. Because here's what the movie breaks down about here, where I stopped caring about what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't want you to be up your own butt intellectually anymore, please. I get it. Like, oh, the movie can't end because this.
When the tires. Can we skip towards the end?
Sure.
When the tire's recruiting everybody, first of all, I guess the lure scene, totally shorten that one. I mean,
Don't even have it.
you don't even need it. If you needed to have it in there, I would put the recruitment of other items beforehand and have them like laying around over there.
I absolutely think they were trying to set up a sequel.
Yeah, I think you can still do the same.
Oh, you're saying that
have all
that
the-
happens and then they all come out at once?
Yeah, that happens. He goes in, he shoots the tire, he comes out, throws it in the middle, and then you have everybody leave, and then the tricycle comes out and all the other tires are there.
They're just there.
Yeah, because he already recruited them all.
Okay.
It sounds
Oh, yeah, because there was like a 3-day period that we didn't see.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. Yeah, once the scene with the maid happens, that's when I think they didn't know how to get from where they were to where they wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they spent way too much time doing it. Because there were a lot of, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're having the scene with the cop explaining that everything's fake. Which, okay, sure, make that scene a little short. It was funny. I didn't mind it. Just stop cutting back to the spectators. Just don't even. You show it once at the beginning.
Yeah, you probably cut out 20 minutes just by doing that.
Yep.
You don't
And
even need the guy at the end.
maybe one scene literally halfway in between the beginning and where they all die or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Where
What was the reason they needed to die? No reason.
the reason they needed to die was because everything would go back to being like everything would end once people stopped watching. Like, I think here's the concept. You're watching Netflix. When you turn it off, the movie ends.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't reach its conclusion, but because you've stopped watching, there's no movie. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist until you turn it back on.
Mm-hmm.
So if everyone stopped watching, they could all go home. But people were still watching. And that guy was like, I want to see an end. And he waited.
Yeah.
It was like a 5-day period, right? Because
Yeah.
they like went to bed and woke up a couple times. And then there was the 3-day interlude where it was like 3 days later.
The 3 day was the 3 days later. No, yeah, that was after.
Yeah.
That was before.
Presumably that guy didn't eat the entire time either.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's like the guy from Tropic Thunder, where he's just that tough.
I
Tough
guess
snow,
so.
doesn't eat
I
for
don't.
5 days.
I don't know. But just have the one in between with the other spectators to remind us. It's like, oh, that's right. There's still a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why yet. And then you maybe have that weird scene. I don't know. A lot of it can get cut out. Or you could just not even have that intellectually like probed scene.
Not that you would do this.
The pseudo intellectual bullcrap.
Not that you would do this or want to do this, or anybody watching would want to do this, but you take the recording and you chop it up into whatever you want it to be, based on the footage that exists.
Yeah, you could re-edit it and just
And
take
just-
a lot of those scenes out.
And then just ship it.
Yeah. You could make a 40-minute edit of this and probably make it more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you cut out all that. So, like...
That's saying it didn't even... It may already exist. Someone may have already done that.
It's possible. This came out in 2011. So, let's... Because this is already super messy now. As soon as you start introducing these weird concepts.
This review.
It could be.
I'm just kidding.
You're not wrong. This is a long one.
Someone will edit the video.
And then you take our edit
And
and
then you take
re-edit
our-
that
yeah,
and make
yeah.
it much shorter.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, hey, we're going to watch a thing. And then it cuts immediately to us going, all right, see you later.
This might be a separate video.
Okay, so here's the re-edit. The re-edit of the re-edit. The super short edit.
Mm-hmm.
You cut out all of the spectator stuff. You don't even have the intro. It's just the tire rumbling around. It gets up. And it's like, okay, tire's alive. It does the thing where it does the water bottle, then it kills a rabbit, and then it sees, and then it's on the highway, sees a lady, wants to stop it. Oh, I forgot about the gas station scene.
Yeah, it goes to the gas station.
Oh yeah, perfect. Gas station scene.
Yep, done. We got it. It has progressed.
Right. Oh, was the guy in the car at the gas station the same guy who hit the tire? Was that it?
Yeah, you got to set that up.
I didn't even connect
That's
it.
That's how he skipped from just animals to pure hatred for humans.
Yeah, he's like,
girl.
I just got run over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go kill that dude. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all great. Then he's at the hotel.
Mhm.
He's like, I tried to see her earlier and then I got run over. And you just get the sense that he likes her. And then she closes the door and he's like, all right, I guess I'll get a room. And then that scene happens.
We didn't get that scene. How he got a room.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. And then the kid sees and he's like, Dad, weird things. And he's like, shut up, I hate you. I don't think you don't need the pizza thing.
No,
That didn't even pay off well.
no. I
He was vaguely eating the pizza in a scene kind of in the background where other things were happening.
Yeah.
Don't need it. Get rid of it. Get rid of the whole pizza scene.
Mm-hmm.
He knows there's an alive tire. He's going to drive the plot later.
Do you
Great.
need the tire in the water scene?
No.
Gone.
Well, no.
Tire shows up, sees her swimming. He's following around. You get a little bit of that.
Maybe he leaves.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand they are like, why would he still be here?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but he could just be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to be in the pool.
Mhm.
He might as well be in the pool. It doesn't matter. That's fine. They're like, hey, there's a death, and then cops are there.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Then the kid's like, tire's alive, and that's it. And he's like, you're an idiot. Get rid of that thing and get out of my face. Kid leaves the scene. And then the cop is just talking with the guy, and he's like, all right, sit down. And as they're talking, you cut out that whole intellectual bullshit.
Yep.
They're just talking, and then the guy's head explodes, and the cop is like, huh. And then he turns and sees the tire, and the tire rolls away, and he's too stunned to do anything. And he's like, and then it plays out like just make it a regular movie. Don't add all the extra stuff that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Greg, that was his name, right? Gregory.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Anyways.
And then you would have time to have that 3-day period, or just more stuff
That's
happen.
a good spot to have it because
Yeah.
the cop is stunned.
Maybe the tire's like rolling towards the girl, and you see her leave,
Yeah.
and he can't follow her that far for whatever reason, and he's just like moving from place to place, killing a bunch of people, and that's the rest of the movie, the padding.
Yep.
And then it gets to the end where like maybe there's
Does he recruit during those 3 days? Does he recruit the? Do you need like a Rocky montage where he's recruiting other ones?
No,
or something?
I would leave that. You don't see it. I would say you don't see it, and you do have a time skip, but it's like a day or something.
Yeah.
And like maybe you have a shot where like you see the car and you see the tire, and then it hard cuts and it cuts to like a day later and he's in that house with a whole bunch of crap everywhere and it looks destroyed, and you don't know whether or not she's there. Doesn't matter. The cop goes in after tracking this thing for whatever. You probably have maybe a couple of scenes of cops being like, what do we do? You know, maybe a couple cops die in the chase and they're like trying to plan out what they do.
Questioning people. You see a tire rolling down the road, and then just real quick, like
maybe like 4 or 5 cops
you go back
bust
to the
into
gas
the
station.
house.
Have you seen this tire?
Maybe.
Anyways, go on.
Yeah, and maybe 4 or 5 cops bust into the house at the end. A couple of them die, but one guy kills it, and he's like, "All right, movie's over." And then the scene you set up earlier, where they all leave, and then like tires, and then that sets up the sequel. That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Still, probably, I'd give it 200,000 in the box office.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't have a theatrical release. That movie like that. Not a movie like that now.
Okay. On YouTube,
I would
$500,000.
I'd probably sell it to Netflix as a Netflix original weird, or like a Hulu original horror movie,
original?
like a Blumhouse.
That's not a bad idea. I'd also throw in, you know what? Amazon Prime. They're looking for content.
Sure.
They'll take it.
Yeah, a streaming service that
Yeah.
might be interested in a silly horror movie.
Yeah. Won't make it to Paramount.
No.
No, or CBS.
No.
Yeah.
Or Spike TV.
Early on, Spike TV might have been it. You know,
Spike TV
Adult
had.
Swim might take it.
Oh yeah, they also like aired The Room
Yeah.
a couple times.
Yep.
They might take it. Anyway, we just came up with a better version of Rubber.
Yeah.
And we'll be making it later this year.
Yep. I actually have 4 tires that we could use. So I have.
Me too, but I need a thing to take them off my car.
Oh, I have just 4 tires sitting in my basement that I will probably sell in the fall.
I'm hilarious.
There's no tires.
And I
though.
need you to recognize how funny I am.
I missed that. You want to do that joke again?
No.
No.
No. The recovery was way funnier.
So.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is
You let me know when you
we
wanna
have stunt
start.
doubles and triples and quadruples.
Yeah. They get hurt a lot because they have to crazy stunts like sit down in chairs and stand back up again repeatedly for a long time.
When they do the wobble stuff, they fall over on one side or the other. That
Are we mocapping the tires like Andy Serkis in Lord of the Rings? Are we gonna get? Is most of our budget gonna go to Andy Serkis being a tire for our movie? And we need you to be a tire. Why don't you just use a tire? You're the best. We need you.
you're the best.
He's like, I'm not gonna say no to a paying job, but I think this is the wrong move here, guys. But all right, I'll do my best. And he does his best. He rolls around a lot, and you're just like, man, that guy's
Just get
good.
a green suit and have him just rolling,
Yeah, yeah,
doing somersaults.
yeah. But it's Andy Serkis, so he'd like practice that for like 4 months before a shoot, like way before pre-shoots, and he would just be practicing that. He'd be like Sonic by the time we got to filming, and we'd be like, "You're doing it too well." It'd be that level with him.
Bring it back just a notch. This isn't a high budget film.
Yeah.
Bring it. We don't need you to be an 11. Bring it back.
We don't need Lord of the Rings
6.
Andy Serkis. We need like. There's literally never been a project you've done that wasn't amazing. I don't know. Picture yourself as Robert Downey Jr. in Dr. Dolittle. We need like a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it back down,
Bring
back
down
a
to
little
5.
bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Deadpool asking Celine Dion to bring it
Would
down.
Would you tell other people to watch Rubber? Or
I would honestly
pass it up.
I would, if I had to offer a movie like this, I would probably say go watch Velocipaster.
You're saying just go watch a better bad movie.
Yes.
And this wasn't. Here's the thing. This wasn't a bad movie like Velocipaster. This is very different.
Yeah.
Velocipaster was poorly shot.
Absolutely.
A lot of things didn't make sense because I think they just kind of gave up.
Yeah, halfway through the movie, they just said, let's do this, or like, we're just going to put it in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It was...
I think they tried hard. Well, they gave up, I think, their original idea, but I still think they were trying pretty hard to make a movie.
Yeah.
Like, they tried, but it was not done competently. Velocipaster. Rubber, a lot of the cinematography looked like it was shot pretty well. There was a lot of depth of field.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, fine. It definitely felt like an avant-garde student film at points. Mm-hmm. Some of that worked. A lot of it didn't. But like, I can't say it was a bad B movie because it looked pretty good for what it was.
Yeah. I just, you talk about a plot. I mean, I lost it like halfway through. I'm just like,
oh yeah, that's where it was up its own butt.
Yeah.
It was absolutely up its own butt with like, I want to tell this thing about like, I want to critique the critiquers and like kill them with poison. And like, he was just mad at stuff, but he was also like, but I want to do the Schrodinger's box thing with the thing. And then it's like too many weird conceptual pseudo-intellectual things going on, man. Like, pick one or just don't have them. You just don't even need them.
You don't need them.
Like,
what would you rate this? Like, would you recommend this?
I find it's hard to recommend it. I would recommend certain scenes. I recommend thinking
just
real hard.
To 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and that's when the speech is over and they see the rubber.
Well, even that is tough
because
like
come to life.
I don't even know if you need the whole like he's just learning how to walk. You know?
No,
it doesn't pay off. It doesn't come back.
But I mean, I can't recommend it.
No,
I'm not going to. Again, well, I'd push somebody to Velocipaster.
Think about the concept of the movie, and then find a clip of like a couple head explosions that happen, and then just like think about that as you would like it to be, then you're good.
We could do a TikTok where we just take someone's like tire, just roll it down the road, and then take like some really paper mache head and just blow it up, and then that's the summary of. For TikTok.
The end, yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
That's a TikTok version.
It's a minute long, better version of Rubber.
Yeah.
I wonder how off I am on this, or if there's like there might be a community of people that's like Rubber is the best movie and you're an idiot, which is fair.
Clearly, there is. Some people bought tickets to the show or to the movie.
It made $680,000. After an $800,000 budget. It was not what I think he intended it to be.
Cult classic?
No.
I can't call it a cult classic.
I think James Rolfe had like said some interesting things about it, but I forget what his critique was. I don't know if it was good or bad. I'm going to have to find out what he thought about it.
Would you put this on like a Gary Busey level type of a rating?
I don't know what that is because that's a different channel.
Damn it, that's right. Cut that out. Oh yeah. Man.
4 or 5, 4.5
out of 5.
Out of 5, because it thinks it's doing really good. It thinks it's doing something so intelligent and so groundbreaking that of course we're going to make billions of dollars. And it made $680,000. It was in the red probably like $400,000, considering advertising and whatever else they did besides just production.
Today, honestly, with like the new phones and everything, I think you could do it with the same movie with an iPhone.
Yeah. Or just a $700 DSLR.
Yeah, that was a $700 phone. I mean,
you'll have a little bit more control with them.
True, and then you just get a really nice microphone.
Yeah,
boom mic or something, and then that's it.
And then pay an editor.
Oh, we got
Pace.
you.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
But I can see how audio would be completely different animal.
It's its own thing. It's totally own thing. Yeah.
And
Sound design is so important. Which in this movie, not a whole lot of sound design.
no,
A lot of it was just quiet and dead.
Yep.
Which I don't know if that was an intentional choice or they just didn't think about it. Because here's the thing. They had music in the beginning to convey like the emotion of the tire because it doesn't speak. And then I think they just forgot about that.
I think they had some of it at the end, but in between, I don't recall much.
Yeah, for 50 minutes there was nothing.
When you go to a movie, Pirates of the Caribbean comes to mind, okay? You go to the movie and you have the score, unbelievable. You come out remembering the movie because of the sound.
I think if we want to back that off of something more relatable to Rubber, pick something like just another indie movie. You know, there was a horror movie, The Witch, something that was like someone's first movie, and it was amazing. I forget the title of it though. And that I think was like not a crazy amount of money, but like or Paranormal. Like, well, no, that's not a good example because that's a found footage movie that was shot for like $10,000 and became a hit because I think the person who made it competently knew what they wanted to do from beginning to end. Where like the director of Rubber, I feel like he had this idea, but he didn't know how to put it together appropriately to really convey what he wanted. Like in his head, he's like, "This is great," but had trouble converting it to paper. Me too, though. I also have that. Where I like write paragraphs and emails and I go, that was great. And I reread it. I'm like, that's trash. I didn't say what I even wanted to say. And I have to rewrite it like 3 times. But at least I understand I needed to rewrite it 3 times. This movie needed a rewrite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was like, hey, I got this fresh idea.
This
Let's
is
run
the
with
first draft and they filmed it.
Yeah.
Competently.
I can see that.
But the director of cinematography was probably like, okay, I guess we'll set up this scene now.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to invest in a movie, I don't know if they got investors or if they just took out a
$800,000
bank loan. Who knows? You know, it could be small businesses. You're like, yeah, I'm down to make some money off of that, right?
I'm down to lose $50,000.
I'm down to get into the film game. You could have
maybe,
but no one knew. And what I'm saying is, did they look at the script if they're going to invest in this? Like, how does that work? If you're going to invest in a movie, are you investing in the person or are you investing in the idea behind the movie? What is the choice there? And it doesn't seem like there was any thought.
No,
if you were an investor in this. So
it depends on how it was sold or pitched, or like if you knew the guy and you were
like
like
a Fire Festival
I think I
idea.
trust you. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You know Fire Festival?
Yeah, it was a huge
flop.
Dumpster fire is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, but we found who the real team players were in
that. Yeah, I saw a bit of like what that turned out to be, where it was like, this is gonna be huge, and then people got there and they're like, you're sleeping just on the ground, I guess.
Yep, it was awful.
Accommodations? It's like what?
Blink
but we have a
182.
stage.
Yeah, they had a stage. They had bands lined up. Blink 182 backed out. Like I was following. I'm like, oh, Blink's doing something interesting. They're going down to the islands. They're gonna have this like really bougie experience for all of the attendees, and it's going to be high class food and all that kind of stuff. You saw all of this being advertised through the bands.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, the Fire Festival is just absolutely that guy. I think he's still in jail.
Good.
I think he's in jail for the next
Cool.
few years.
Yeah, sweet. I'm glad to hear it. Like legitimately, I'm glad to hear that he's in jail. Anyway, don't watch Rubber. It was a tire fire, literally. It could have been good. It could have been good, and it wasn't.
Yep.
It was interesting, but it just felt so long. Tell me if I'm way off on this one too. And if you really loved Rubber, tell me why. I want to know.
I'd
Sincerely,
like to know.
I want to know why.
I'm curious, and
Because you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I just want to know their point of view, because I'm open to that.
You want
but
the
give me the good parts in how you critiqued it, how you
yeah. There are gonna be paragraphs in the comments section if anyone watches this video and is inclined enough to tell me that I'm way off.
Yeah, tell me I'm totally wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
You want a different point of view. So you want
Yeah.
the scene from the credits where it's pointed at the guy. By the way, I liked him. He sold his character pretty well.
The
weirdo. The weirdo with the glasses, with the
you know
tie.
who he reminded me of? And I can't remember the guy's name.
The guy who plays Penguin in Gotham.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
He was great.
Yeah. He was good.
His dying scene was awesome. And I really liked the joke I made earlier. I think it was spot on.
I've already forgotten. Sorry.
Oh my god.
It was a great one though.
It was hilarious. I've already intercut it. Yeah.
That joke was awesome.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
Now I remember. Oh my god. So thanks for joining us on this experiment. On
we'll find something
the
new.
channel that we're on right now. Which is a channel on some sort of social media platform where you're watching this.
Vimeo.
Go to hell, Vimeo. That's not a social media platform.
Could be.
That's a video hosting platform.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a social media platform.
Not a social media.
That's for businesses to do business. That's for businesses who want really like a lot of control on how their embeds work.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we'll hang out again. I don't know when.
Later, everybody.
You know why? I don't know how this is gonna do.
I don't either.
Oh well.
But you know what?
I had fun.
I had fun. This is great. I don't mind doing this again if you come and do this, but
Yeah.
it wasn't recording? What?
It wasn't recording the entire time? Okay then.
Yay, 2B.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here was my idea for a movie. I had this thought. We don't really have a ton of room to 3/4 turn, but I had this thought where I was thinking about all the people who like don't benefit society. And, like, you know what they would be good for? The people who like you look in, you're like, oh man, you're just a big a-hole, and you don't benefit us in any way. I was thinking to myself, they'd be good for like to keep the rest of us warm and just like yeet them into a fire, and it's like, you've provided something to society now. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, it'd be a really interesting idea for a movie. And it would be one of those like pseudo-intellectual, really not that intellectual movie.
Not to this level. This was exceptional.
It was exceptionally up its own ass the entire time. Rubber was. I wanted dumb, like, this is just tired, just killing a bunch of people with a bunch of effects. But they probably couldn't. No, they had $800,000 budget. They could have dumped a lot of this and put it all into the effects.
It could have been a 15-minute short.
It could have been a 15-minute short. Yeah. If you re-edit it to be good, it will be a 15-minute short. But my idea was there's like this, it's like very far in the future Snowpiercer type of like situation where it's dystopian, but it's just in a city, but it's very cold, and like there's like these high walls, and like there's like a big area in the middle of like a city that is like a big fire that keeps everything warm because there's like no electricity or whatever. And like the people who live in the walls are like generally well fed, but they like the warmth comes from like burning bodies. So the initial like understanding is like, oh, it's like an evil society, and like it's crazy and it's wrong. And the story would follow a protagonist who like lives outside the city with like a bunch of other people who are clearly like having like a hard, like they've been shunned from the rich elite society, and they're like the Chris Evans Snowpiercer character who's gonna like like challenge classism, right? And like get in there and disrupt things and like make it better for everyone. But like as the film goes on, like he says something a little off color, like not like crazy, but he's like just something like a little sexist, and you're like, oh, that's weird. Like it just makes you feel a little weird. You're like, why are you rooting for this guy? Like whatever. But it's not bad. It's not like so bad. But as the film goes on, he keeps getting worse and worse as you discover more about him. And then like by the end, you figure out that everyone who's been shunned from the society are like really bad people, like terrible people. And the people who live in the society like only do this because it's like absolutely necessary out of desperation. So you like start to play with that idea of like what's right and wrong with morals. Yep. It's like, we don't want to do this. If we don't do this, everyone dies. And the people that are burned are like rapists and like
bad people,
terrible people. And then he gets captured, and like the thing is like he's like, I'm only you do this to people, and they're like, it's like, yeah, we don't want to do it either. We hate doing this. This weighs on our conscience every day. But you raped kids, and it's just like he like tries to defend it. And it's like, we're throwing you in the fire, and it's just like, it's like a switch at the end. I thought that'd be an interesting idea out of the idea of, oh, the only thing that you're good for is heating the rest of us up. Like, and you'd have to frame it in a way by the end, and this would take a lot of work to convince the audience that what the society is doing is the right thing to do. Because you need to make the people, all the people that are burning, the most deplorable. Because, like, I don't agree with the death penalties at all. But if you go on Facebook and someone's like, he called a man a bad name, they're like, kill him. Like those people, that's an easy sell. They're like, of course they should be thrown in the fire. That's the dumb general audience. But to convince the other people who might actually be interested in it for its pseudo-intellectualism up its own ass thing that I'd like to bring to it, which would be terrible and dumb, but maybe interesting enough that by the end you're like, oh, that's all. Just, oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
I like it.
Yeah.
If you have $800,000, we might be able to make it happen.
Yeah. If I had $800,000, I'd probably just not do anything. Yeah. For like, a little while. And
but
then
the
I'd
investors want you to make this movie.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, if I just had it. If I had investors, of course, yes. I get an investor to be like, give me $1 million to make this movie. It's not a lot of money when like Avengers costs $200 billion or whatever it costs to make Avengers.
I think it was like $5 billion.
$5 billion. Okay.
Something crazy like that.
$5 billion. $5 billion.
I think it's five. I was like,
give me
I think
$1 million.
$500 million to make those movies. To buy Marvel, it was $5 billion. And like the first movie that they released under Disney, they made like $10 million. I think that was Winter Soldier, and they made like $10 billion off of it. It was or something like that.
Yeah,
I may be getting the wrong movie,
but yeah.
Anyways, a lot of cash.
Yeah. If I could make that movie, or someone just take my idea and make it. I want to see it, but make it how it's in my head. Good luck.
You can find him right here in the comments.
I'll write your script. It'll take a while, but I'll write it. I'll help direct.
Can I add a little bit of a twist?
Oh, yeah.
It has to be in a Tim Burton claymation type of film.
No. I don't like that. I want to be really
I could just
gritty
see it
and
like
real.
A Jack Skellington style, like the...
That would probably not save money, actually. That'd probably be more expensive.
It would probably be more expensive.
Yeah,
but
it's much easier to just film people doing stuff.
Well, we'll leave it up to the investor.
Okay, yeah.
The viewer, whoever.
The viewer. We're going to start a GoFundMe for $800,000.
We're going to make this movie.
Yeah.